I know it. This weekend, so many of you are sizing up your gardening plans, right? Well, let's help you take next steps in pre-planning and plotting. Well, Danny met up with Jungle Judy for some great tips.
Why is it so important to plan out our garden instead of just showing up? And then what are some things to talk about in terms of the process of planning?
One of the things that I like to think about is just what's going to keep you in the garden, not just planting your seeds, but what in the world do you want your garden to be? I want to be really mindful of the purpose of my garden so that I don't overextend myself, and I can also keep it going throughout the season.
How about designing a plot to fit my needs? Does it always have to be a certain shape? Are there specific things we need to look into when it comes to designing our plot?
So I am definitely not a landscape architect or landscape designer.
Okay.
And yet I think that when we're thinking about a plot, very often we think of rectangles that we see out in a garden.
Yes.
Nobody says that a plot needs to be a certain shape. So breaking it up to fit your needs. But I think if we're talking about designing a garden, we need to think about healthy growing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think about maximizing, I only have a small space, how many crops can I plant? You need a place for your feet to come and dance in the garden, right?
Huh.
You want to come and care for your crops? Here's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Take a garden hoe,
Okay.
and I'm just going to split up this plot here. I'm just going to go with this hoe, and I'm just going to make pathways in your garden that invite your feet to be in.
Let's talk about how to make sure that our plot will provide us food throughout the season.
So I think one of the challenges that people do is, you know, let's look at Mother's Day. Our garden centers tell us we need to have everything planted by then. So realize that they have different preferences. So we plant them at different times. Our last spring frost doesn't occur till May 15th. So we not only need to think about cool season salad greens, but we also need to think about our nighttime temperatures. We can vary between 50 degrees nighttime and daytime. We don't want to see cool season things in the garden when it's hot. We want to plant small quantities of them. It's called succession planting every week or so.
You know what, I'm maybe a beginner gardener, somebody that's starting out this year, and you know, many people are concerned about losing interest in the heat of the summer, right? So are there some easy things that I can do to draw my attention a bit more to the work of gardening? Because sometimes it does get overwhelming. You get to your garden and you're like, oh, that guy died, or this happened, and now it gets frustrating sometimes.
So one of the things that I love to tell gardeners is really not about the production.
Okay.
It's really about what does this garden give you.
Yeah.
So I like to design a garden for reflection.
Yeah.
So that allows me to come, put a chair in the garden. You know, here I am, I'm sitting down in my garden, and one of the things that I do is bring out a favorite book. This one is just regenerative, whatever, you know, I put an old table. I sit on a bale of straw.
Yes.
I think about things that feed my interest, and also in my garden, I design for the senses.
Yes.
So I might put things in, and Danny, if you could kind of pick that up.
Grab this guy.
These are just some of the things that I grow in my garden. One of which is bunny tail, wonderful grass that I just want to put along my face and will invite. So things that deal with the senses, the bunny tail grass, things that focus your interest, that say, aren't I beautiful?
Yeah.
Maybe at the edge, if you're working with children, something like a dwarf sunflower, which is no bigger than they are.
Right.
So a mix of things that are flowers and herbs. This is an ornamental wheat, which is beautiful, that I can preserve, that are going to feel good. Flowers like zinnia, anything in your garden that's going to reflect, that make you realize a garden, yes, we want to get that production out, but what a garden needs is for you to be there. A garden is not asking you to get 40 pounds of produce out. A garden is saying, I'm your child for the season. Come and be there with me. If it means designing down, planting less, do whatever it takes that will bring your interest down, that will allow you to journal, that will allow you to find that peace within. Because really what we're looking for, what brings us back, is that peace that we haven't found in our everyday life. If we're lucky enough with the squirrels and the aphids and the hail to get a few tomatoes and beautiful fresh grown carrots out, what a bonus. But for me, it's that connection with the earth and that feeling that, aha, I've learned one new thing and I'm in community.
Yes.
So that's what I try and get.
Yes, Judy, that's wonderful. Well, it's always such a blast, so much fun, and I can't wait to start my own garden this year.
Go slowly.
Yes, very slow. That's the key.
And you can get in the garden with Denver Urban Gardens. Learn more online. It's DUG.org.